What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you right now, again, you're on television. Today's card, by the way, March 14th, this is it. It's the 9 of diamonds, which is the 9 of pentacles. This is card number 73. Because that's exactly, they tried to tell you in the Truman Show. He lived in house number 36. The word operating equals 36. He has the initials JC, which is Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ equals 36. And the 21st card in the major arcana is called the world card. That's because you went down in a hole to play the game. And it may just be spirit playing you. Maybe a star in the sky is playing you. But they've been trying to tell the machine's been trying to tell you that you're on television and you're doing your job. You don't have to like some people's jobs, but that's just the way it is. Okay? And so I'm going to give you 2 slides to support what I'm saying here. And this is like, again, try to use logic and critical thinking here. Now, this is a snapshot of the Truman Show off Amazon Prime. And this scene right here is exactly when Christoph says you're on television. And I paused it. And I looked at the timestamp. And it was 1 hour, 34 minutes, and 29 seconds. And that gives us a total of 64. And how big is the 64? How many squares on a chessboard? How many possible codons in your DNA? Well, when you go to alchemy to get the picture and to bridge it, to support that you're on television, the 64th element is called gadolinium, the GD element, the God element, and the icon they chose, the Royal Society of Chemistry, was a television screen. Why? Because gadolinium was used for television screens back in the day. So we have mainstream, we have television, we have the squares on a chessboard, we have the possible codons in the DNA, and we have the television tied to you being on television when Christoph from the moon, by the way, he was on the moon, Ed Harris, and he also played in the show Westworld. He was the man in black. Okay? All of these are clues telling you that you're inside of a movie, and everybody's playing their part. Simulation has already been written. Whoops. I think I just have this out of order. Hold on, folks. So let's get into the next topic now. AIX. Artificial Intelligence X. So I'm going to start here. And you can see it's a number 7. 1 plus 1 plus 5. 7. Why? Chaldean, the oldest known numerology on the planet. That's why I use it. Top dog cipher. If you're new to numerology, you should probably look at Chaldean. Not the only one, but to me, it has superiority over all the other ones. That's my opinion, though. So let's go somewhere with this number 7. What happens when I say the number 7? We get 24. And do you remember what that 24 was? Tied to the machine. Welcome to the machine. 7 chakras. 7 colors of the rainbow. 7 days of the week. 7 planets in the classical lineup from the sun to Saturn. How much more? 7 archons. How much more do you want to see with this? Letter X, the 24th letter. He calls it AIX. And then, could it be that the machine is Chronos? Chronos is where we get chronographic watches from, which is time. The devil, Satan, is time, because over time you will sin. And that's why I say be the best little devil you can be. Of course, this reduces down to the number 6, which is probably one of the reasons why Saturn has the hexagon on top of one of the North Poles, on top of the North Pole, and why beehives have hexagons in them, because we're inside the hive. Okay? So going back to the AIX, this is where it gets super interesting, right? Removing the number 7, just let's look at these digits, the single digits, 1, 1, 5. And it's going to connect to this element right here called Moscovium. Now, this is a super interesting element because if you're somebody who has watched Area 51 and Bob Lazar really brought this out into the limelight because Bob Lazar says that this element is what makes UFOs move. Okay? And when you do the numerology of Moscovium, it's directly matching the word Elohim. Elohim. Let us make man in our image, after our likeness. This alluding to that we are created from underground. See, the black sun is 25, just like the word father's 25, just like the word artificial's 25, just like Elohim in the Chaldean is 25, 25, 20. And these are all going to reduce down to the number 7, just like the word AIX is going to be a 7. So if I don't get it here, I'm going to get it here. I'm going to get it here. And so here you have the W, the wolf. Feed the wolf, tungsten, which is he's connected right to it through his name numerology. And it's tied right to Area 51. You see the latitude, longitude, another big layer as a decoder, looking at like where you live. Wherever you live in the world, you should know your coordinates, and you should try to figure out what the numbers mean in relation to your code. Well, Area 51, look at the longitude, 115. And Bob Lazar was there and said that this is what makes spacecrafts move, Moscovium. And the latitude north is rubidium. And rubidium and Moscovium, they tie directly to the Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh, which is the Israelite God of the Bible, and the Elohim, let us make man in our image. Are these one and the same? Did the Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh create the Elohim, and then the Elohim create us? The word source equals 26. The word prison, which is where I went and Jason went, and I can tell all of you, every single one of you, you're in prison, because earth is a prison. And you ain't getting out till you die. I can tell all of you, every single one of you, you're in prison, because earth is a prison. And you ain't getting out till you die. What do you think's running this reality? The Gnostics called it the demiurge. That's called Enki and Enlil, by the way. That's the demi meaning two. Enki and Enlil is the combination of the demiurge. Santa Claus is 30. Jehovah is 30, the New Age name, which keeps you trapped in the nightmare. You know the movie Zero Dark 30? These are all clues. So the 113 and the 30 tied to the conviction date. And it's tied to role play. See, because that's exactly what each and every one of us are living through. You're living through a role. You're a character on the board, and you're a puppet on strings. I know some of you are not going to accept that because you think you're just only you. There are going to be a few of you that think that you have all this control in your life because you can't accept the fact that you're being role played. And again, I'm not saying this has to be true for you, and I stand in my research. But I don't have it all figured out. I can honestly and authentically tell all of you that. But these things, to me, solidify the position here, okay? That you're in hell and you're being role played. Earth is hell, okay? And this is why I know the majority of you have said this. Yeah, everything happens for a reason. Well, when you say that magic spell, that becomes the 113, which is the 30th prime number. And the reason why everything happens for a reason is because you're being role played. You're not in control of your reality. Well, I mean, again, I'm not mixing any of these numerology ciphers like a lot of other decoders do to give you more chances. I'm just using one. That's it. To show you the source code playing out here. The word Jesus equals 18. The word Christ equals 18. What do you think we all are? You're all Jesus having the Christ experience. The word Adam is going to give you tied to the number 18. Because 18 is going to reduce down to the number 9, and that's what Adam is. The first man is going to reduce down to the number 9. Okay? That's what all this stuff means. And this is what it alludes to here. The prison is the infinity symbol, and it's created by the sun. As the sun moves along the equator during the vernal equinoxes, here's the spring equinox, here's the summer solstice, here's the fall equinox and the summer solstice. It forms a diamond shape. Lucy in the sky with diamonds, which is connected to Lucifer, which is connected to Jesus, which is the prison. As it moves through time, it creates a wave. It creates a wave, which is the infinity symbol. which is what we are all in. You're in prison. So you see, this character, this title is not what you think it is. It's not what you've been programmed with. There's much more to it than meets the eye. You got to start decoding. You got to start getting rid of and being a nihilist and getting rid of the programming that you were given growing up from the pastor or the church or whatever you were raised in. Because it's not what you think it is. It's much different. Much, much different. So what is the 56? What is the Phoenix tied to, the 138? Well, it's tied to Earth. Now, listen, ladies and gentlemen, don't get your underwear in a bunch because I have the globe here, all right? Like, this is a graphic AI drove for me. All right, I'm not going to get into the flat earth around Earth. Please don't sit here and try to accuse this. Listen, it's just trying to illustrate something for you, and I asked it to illustrate Earth being a movie set, okay? Because it's all about lights, camera, action down here. So all the history, everything, all the chronology, everything that he studies, it was supposed to happen. Even the manipulation, even the deception. There's no such thing as that when you know how the reality works. This whole reality, everything just is. We just label these adjectives as, well, that's deceptive, that's not true. Or, folks, it's all here to get your attention because this reality needs you as a player on the board. And it uses you as a little actor or actress. And it's all tied to the Phoenix event because after a certain period of time, when these ages change, you have the Phoenix happen. And the Phoenix emerges from inside the earth, and we're all part of it. All of you are part of the Phoenix event. Every single one of you. If you saw the show called Leave the World Behind, at the very end, Rose grabs the DVD called Friends. It was the last episode. And what day was the last episode of Friends airing on? May 6th. Because it was talking about leave the world behind because change is coming. It's imminent. That's what this whole thing means. So, you see, in ancient Egyptian culture and religion, the Ba refers to one of the key components of the soul. The ancient Egyptians believed that each individual possessed multiple aspects of the soul, and the Ba was one of them. The Ba was often depicted as a human-headed bird, representing the individual's personality or unique characteristics. Phoenix. The Ka and the Ba. And let's not forget Ra, because it's Ra, the Ka, and the Ba. All the Phoenix. Every single one of you is tied to the Phoenix event. Because you're here, you're part of history. The Phoenix represents history and the soul. So now you know what that means.